Welcome everyone. In this video, we're going to animate this waterfall in Photoshop. So let's get started. So first of all, I will create a duplicate layer by pressing Ctrl and J. And now I'm going to select this lasso tool. You can choose any selection tool. I'm going to choose lasso tool and create a selection around this waterfall. Okay, like this, and press Ctrl and J, and this creates a duplicate layer of this waterfall, only the waterfall. So I'm turning off these layers beneath, so I can see the waterfall. And now I'm going to choose this eraser tool, right click, and then set the hardness to 0, sized about 300 pixel, and opacity to around like 50. Yeah, around 50 opacity is good. And now I'm gonna click like this, and I'm gonna clean the edges. Okay, we're not gonna have the edges very sharp, so click like this. Okay, we need to see the feather. Okay, and also on top, just a little bit on top, not too much on top. Okay, that's what we're looking for. A little bit more here, maybe. Okay, so once we're done, we can just turn on the layers, other layers, and having the selection on the layer 2, which is the waterfall only layer, right click on the layer and click on convert to smart object. We are converting it to a smart object because it's not possible for us to transform the size of the waterfall without converting it into a smart object while animating. Okay, so now once we have converted the layer to a smart object, we're going to go to window and choose timeline. So this is going to show this timeline. If you don't see the timeline, what you're going to see is you're going to see a kind of button where it says create a timeline. Then you can create on that button and it will show this timeline. So so you can see that there are frames, and you can see this 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, and 4 and 5. So by default it's showing 5-second long timeline. So for this layer 2, we can drag like this and set it to 1 second. Okay, so you can see the layer 2 here also in the timeline, and you can click on the layer 2. Now you can see transform, opacity, and style, and we're going to play with the transform option. So the round thing is keyframe. We can click on this and this creates a keyframe. So let's zoom out a little bit. Okay, so now drag this thing a little bit here, and then go to move tool, and holding the shift key you can just drag a little bit down, a little down more. Okay, so once you have done that, press enter. So in the older versions of Photoshop you don't need to press the shift key, but in the newer versions you need to hold the shift key while dragging the waterfall. Okay, so once you press the enter key, now you're gonna go to this thing. You drag this to the 1 second timestamp, and you can drag the keyframe on the 1 second timestamp. Now if you play this, you can see that, okay, this kind of thing. We're not done yet. So having the layer selected, you go to this transition, or click on this and choose fade and drag like this to the left part of the layer, and again click and drag to the right side also. So this creates a fading transition in the beginning of the movement of the waterfall, and also at the end of the movement. Okay, so once we have done that, now we need to create group from this layer too. So just having the layer selected, press Ctrl and G. So this creates a group. You can minimize the group and press Ctrl and J to duplicate, and then drag this duplicate layer like this. So this the second layer starts from the half of the previous layer, or the layer below. And again, Control J, and same thing with the new layer, starting from the half of its previous layer. Again, Control J. We're gonna do it more. Control J, and then again, okay, and Control J. Okay, so let's keep it till like 3 seconds. So what we can do is, you can see this thing which says set end of work area. Click this thing and drag it to 3 seconds. So this means your video will play only till 3 seconds. Now again, press Ctrl J, and we're gonna create one more group, and this will go all the way to the beginning, and we're gonna stop here. You can actually open the layer, and we can see that this is like this. We can hide the half of the layer here. So the beginning of this layer is kind of half of the movement, if that makes sense. Okay, so once we do that, the last thing we're going to do is go to the layer 1, which is the layer of the picture, the whole picture, and press Ctrl J to duplicate the layer, and we're going to drag the layer all the way up. So that should be the top layer, and we can drag it to 3 minutes, or you don't need actually. Okay, anyway, your video is going to be 3 seconds long, but it should be from the beginning of the timeline. Okay, so once we do that, we go to this add layer mask and press Ctrl I to invert the layer mask, and we'll go to brush and choose white color. Okay, and right click and set the hardness of the brush to 0. Size would be around maybe little small, around 400, and opacity to around 50. And we're gonna click like this. This is gonna show the parts of the top layer. Okay, so it's hiding the layer beneath. Okay, so the thing here is the waterfall actually, it's moving all the way down, and if we don't put this layer, we're gonna see like this waterfall going, way down where we should not be seeing the waterfall. And so we are hiding those parts by creating this mask. Okay, now if we go to this play button, before that we're gonna see this setting here. If we click on the setting, you can see loop playback, so you have to check this loop playback. Okay, after that you can click the play button. So as you can see, we can now see that the waterfall is moving. We can see a little bit of this waterfall here, so I guess we need to make the opacity a bit more. Okay, we're gonna increase the opacity, and then we're gonna clean this area. Click the area. Okay, now we won't see that area. Okay, so let me minimize this thing here first. Okay, and yeah, if we go down like this and zoom in and then play. Okay, so this is how we animate water in Photoshop. So once you are happy with the result, you can go to File and Export, and you can render video. Okay, and you have this option to save it in MP4, and that way you can get a video of this waterfall falling down. Okay, so that's how you animate waterfall in Photoshop. Hope you liked the video. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, and do not forget to subscribe to this channel.